everyone. I just wanted to start our lesson off today with a food song, since we're going to be talking about food. So it's Raining Tacos. I don't know, Brooke suggested it. I don't really know any funny food songs, so that's what we went with today, okay? I'm sending a video out for 8th grade and 7th grade. This is going to go with your first 2 lessons that you've been doing. You guys have been doing an awesome job getting those lessons in or assignments turned in. I thank you for that. It's great just to see your names pop up on Schoology and see that you guys are diligently working and doing the things that you need to do as we kind of go through this learning at home. So it's been awesome to see you guys doing that. I'm going to post a video today, Wednesday, that kind of goes with those first 2 lessons. We're going to talk and maybe clarify some of those items. So I want to welcome you to my classroom cave. We still are taking suggestions for a name for our deer here. I've had some good ones, but still looking for some creative, kind of silly names for our deer here in our classroom cave as we kind of move forward, okay? Going through this, we're going to talk first about calories. So I don't know if you can see my sign, but it says calories. Normally this is what I would write on the board if I were teaching in the classroom, but I don't have a board to write on here, so we're just going to have this makeshift piece of paper with Sharpie, calories, okay? So when you guys eat food or drink maybe a pop or milk or other beverages, you're intaking calories into your body. Now there are very few things out there that don't have calories in them, like water. That doesn't contain calories. But most of the stuff that we eat or that we drink, we're taking in calories, and our body uses those calories to kind of help us get through kind of our day. It's like putting gas into a car. Not all of these calories are created equal. When I pull up to the gas pump at the gas station, I have 2 or 3 different types of fuel I can put in my car. When it comes to calories, we have a whole bunch of different types of calories that we can put into our body. Some of them are healthy and good, and some of them are not so healthy and not so good. And no more of an important time than now is it for us to kind of look at this nutrition and look at the calories, the food we're putting into our body, okay? Nutrition is one of my favorite lessons to teach, and it's one of my favorite things even outside of school that I look at, that I do a lot of research with, because nutrition, what we eat, what we drink, what we put into our body can change the way that we look, it can change the way that we feel, and it can change the way that we perform. And there's not many things out there that can have that big of an impact on us. And more so, like I said, than ever, you guys, some of you are doing your diet and depression article, which is our 3rd assignment. No more important now than ever when we're kind of struggling with a big change and things are not the way that they used to be. Diet is really important. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to look at different types of popular diets. We're going to look at how the food we eat affects our brain. And that's all really important stuff right now. So basic thing here is calories. It's fuel. It's the food we put into our body. Now, when we eat something, let's say I eat a chicken salad. My chicken salad has X amount of calories in it. And there are 3 main nutrients that make up those calories, okay? So in my salad, I'm going to have 3 main nutrients. They're going to be called macronutrients because your body needs a lot of them. There's micronutrients, your body needs a little bit, and there's macronutrients, your body needs a lot of them. Okay, there's carbs, there's protein, and there's fat. And those are the 3 things that I had you guys kind of doing a little warm up and research on this week as we went through those lessons, okay? So when I eat something, my chicken salad has carbohydrates, it has protein, and it has fats in it. And those are what make up the calories. So when I have X amount of calories, my fuel, they're made up by these other nutrients. So the first thing we have on my handy dandy paper here is carbs or carbohydrates. Carbs is short for that. Now this is a very popular topic in the world of nutrition right now because you're hearing of a lot of popular diets out there that kind of focus around carbohydrates. Okay, these three macronutrients, carbs, protein, and fat, you can change the amount that your body eats, and it kind of changes the way that you feel, the way that you perform, and it can change the way that you look too. And we'll talk about that when we talk about different popular diets out there right now, okay? Carbohydrates have one main purpose for your body. When you consume carbohydrates, they give you energy. Okay? And so if we're looking for giving our body some energy, we can get those through the form of carbohydrates. Now, in your second assignment, you had to list some carbohydrates, okay? Some carbohydrates are things like pasta and bread and vegetables and fruit. And our carbohydrates, we're going to learn later, can be broken into simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. If you watched my video on my smoothies that I did a couple weeks ago, those were simple carbohydrates. The fruit, the yogurt, those things were all simple carbohydrates. They were things that our body can digest quickly. And when you wake up in the morning, after exercise, simple carbohydrates are great because they can give you quick energy. They're easily digested. Okay, but the main purpose of carbohydrates is to give us energy. Those complex carbohydrates, I'm going to eat lunch here in a little bit after I get done uploading this video. I'm going to have some brown rice in there. That's a complex carbohydrate. So it's going to give me energy over time, which is really, really important. Okay, those of you that know me, you know I'm high energy. I have a lot of energy. Some of it comes from my coffee, which has caffeine, but it comes from eating carbohydrates in a smart way. And as we move through this, we'll talk about how to do that, okay? So those were some examples of your carbohydrates. Those of you that have submitted your assignments, you have great. You're supposed to give me 10 examples of foods that are carbohydrates. You've been doing a great job with those. And there are some foods that kind of fit into all three of these categories. That's great. That's wonderful. But carbohydrates give us energy, okay? Next is protein for our macronutrients. So we have carbohydrates, then we have protein. Protein helps build and repair muscle cells. Probably one of the most important nutrients for you guys right now is protein, okay? You are all growing really, really quickly, okay? And when you're out moving around, your body breaks down muscle cells. And you need protein to repair those. But you're also growing. So you need protein for building those muscle cells as well, okay? And when it comes to protein, this is something that middle schoolers and high schoolers and even adults sometimes lack, okay? When you're eating something, or when you have a meal, or when you track what you've eaten throughout the day, you're going to find that a lot of your calories are made up of carbohydrates, a little bit of protein, and maybe more fat than we should have, okay? So we're going to talk about balancing that diet out. Protein is so important right now for you guys. Protein you're going to get from different types of meats, okay? Pork, beef, chicken, eggs you can get it from. A lot of times there's good yogurt. I know in my smoothie video, check out the 000 yogurt. It's a good flavored yogurt, and it has a good balance of protein and carbohydrates in it. If you don't like meat, also I added that protein supplement to it. Always best if you can get your protein naturally from regular foods, but adding those to a meal here and there isn't a bad thing. It can help you. A lot of your dairy products can fit into this too. So protein, really important. Getting them through, I'm giving you the basics. When I say beef, well, there's a lot of different beef that you can have. You can have steaks, you can have hamburgers. You can get that through lunch meat sometimes if you have like roast beef or things like that. So a lot of different ways you can get your protein. Super important for you guys. So we've got our calories, and then our macronutrients are the things that make up those calories. Carbohydrates gives us energy. Protein helps build and repair muscle cells. And then the last is fat. Now, a lot of people say, well, if you eat too much fat, then you're going to gain weight. Well, that's kind of true, but fat is a very complicated thing because there are some really good fats that you can eat more of, and then there are some bad fats that your body struggles to digest and use in an appropriate or a good way, okay? Really, if we look at carbohydrates, if we eat too many carbohydrates, what our body doesn't use in carbohydrates, that gets stored as fat. Healthy fats do a lot for our body. They help with brain function. They help kind of lubricate our joints, and they help with joint and joint pain. They help with digestion. So healthy fats we're going to get into are things that you might get from like a peanut product or cashews. You can get it from natural peanut butter is a good source of healthy fats. If you like fish, fish is a great source of healthy fats. Avocados are a great source of healthy fats. You want to stay away from saturated fats, and you want to stay away from trans fats. Now, trans fat is really bad. It used to be in a lot of oils that we cooked our food in, or potato chips or things like that. It's a manufactured fat, but we've learned over the years it's so unhealthy that a lot of it is like non-existent anymore. But still, you want to be careful. Stay away from trans fats. Saturated fats come from like animal meat. So if you have a high-fat steak, or like bacon is pork that's high in fat, those are all saturated fats. They're unhealthy fats, okay? You want to look at unsaturated fats for some of those healthy fats, okay? And that's what you get when you have the peanut butter or the avocados. Fish is high in omega-3 fats. Those are all good for brain function. And believe it or not, they're even good for, if you have the right amount, good for making your heart healthy and things like that, okay? So that's kind of our overview of our macronutrients. I know we had the Mighty Macros assignment. We talked about those different macronutrients. This is something, if you had me last year, you 8th graders, if you had me in 7th grade, that we talked about. And then you 7th graders, we talked about this as well in 6th grade. So it's kind of a review. As my phone is ringing, Mrs. Colette is calling and ruining my taco song. But anyway, that kind of is something that we've talked about before. It's kind of a review. Next week, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. I am going to post another video. What's today? Wednesday. I'll post another video maybe later this week, and we'll do kind of a funny video, maybe a funny Friday video, where we'll give the name of my deer. We'll talk about the remainder of our first video, what's in the other part of this classroom cave that we have, and we'll go through some of those things. Just last, before we go, if you guys have questions, email me. I've been getting a lot of emails with questions. I've been getting a lot of fun emails. Just, hey, how you doing, Mr. Felsing? It's good to see you. I really miss you guys. I really miss being at school. I know this is kind of a weird, different time, but those connections are great, okay? And I know a lot of you, excuse me, a lot of you have been students of mine for sometimes 3 years. For some of you, and so it's hard not being at school and not being in our environment, but those short little emails, those pop in, hey, how you doing, miss your class, those types of things are really helpful, and just kind of the chat back and forth. So just wanted to throw that out there for you. Just like you guys are maybe missing school, we're missing it too, missing being around everyone. I'm looking to possibly set up a Zoom meeting, one with 8th grade, so my first and second hours together, and then one with 7th grade, our first and second hours together. So keep checking Schoology for more of that information. And I now have to call Mrs. Colette back because she was calling during this. So have a great Wednesday, and check out for another video coming shortly later this week maybe. See y'all later.